Hi, my name's Jeff Dodge. Welcome to our place here on the west side of Indianapolis, and welcome to our channel. I know a lot of you who are already following our channel and who may be finding our channel have probably found us through my relationship and good friend Mike Simon, Dirt Perfect. And we're going to be doing a lot more filming and trying to bring you along for our racing adventures and show you the behind the scenes of what it takes for us to go racing through my employment as a skilled tradesman. First thing we got to do though is come up with a name for our channel. And I name most things. Our work trucks are all named, our heavy equipment's all named. Most of the race cars I've driven in my career I give names to. But for our channel, I want to bring you guys in and give you an opportunity to weigh in and help us pick a good name for it. So let my wife and I tell you a little bit more about what we're going to be doing with this channel, and we'd love to see your ideas or your preferences in the comments for this video. If you want to learn more about my racing career, there'll be a link posted in the description to the A Few Points from Perfect podcast, where we talk at great length about the things I've done in racing and also the things that we're doing with the Racing to Build Brighter's Futures program and Jeff Dodge Racing. So let's take a walk back to the shop and we'll give you a peek of what's going on right now, and we'll tell you a little bit more about what we're doing. So this place we bought 8 years ago. It needed a lot of work. My wife and I decided that we needed a place for lamb excavating and our residents, and my hope was that someday race cars would live here. So this is what we've got and where we're at. Lamb excavating, we're down a dump truck right now. That's Clifford, our red dump truck. Marianne, the first excavator we had, is loaded up. All of our other equipment is out on job sites, which is a good thing because that means we're busy. We're surprisingly busy for February. Real original on the Dodge, it's blue. And it's my daily driver and tows the race trailer. Goes to work with lamb excavating. But this is our humble race shop. It's definitely not the Taj Mahal, but it's what we got, and let's go inside. So we're in the middle of our off-season rebuild. This is a new car that we put together before the Dirt Track World Finals in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's Max. We got a wing here that we're getting ready to re-letter. This is our trusty Honda Foreman. We call it the donkey because most other teams have a mule, but mules are expensive and we can't fit one in our trailer. So we built the donkey, and it kind of holds all of our tools and equipment. I'll show you more about the donkey here in a coming video and how it works. But let's talk a little bit more about what we're going to do with this channel. So before we get further into talking about what we want to do with the channel, I'd like to introduce my wife, Ashley. She is definitely a big part of everything we're doing here, and we get to celebrate something today with my wife that I'm pretty excited about. So anyway, this channel is about bringing you along on our racing adventure and the dream that I've had of going racing, and also about showing you how I've been able to attain that dream in hopes that people will be inspired to give the skilled trades a serious consideration, to find a fulfilling career and to use their interests and their talents to benefit their communities and ultimately attain their dreams. So I reference my wife often when I talk about this as an example of why our education system is not necessarily, in my opinion, preparing young people well for a career and for life as an adult. Pretty much they tell them you've got to go to college to be successful. And my wife did go to college and incurred a substantial amount of student debt in the process, and is employed in the tech industry, has a very successful career. And just as of this week, managed to finally finish paying her student debt off. So I'll turn it over to her to talk a little bit about that. And we did the Dave Ramsey program and started she really started buckling down on trying to get the debt taken care of. I don't want to take any credit here because she did this on her own. But if you know anything about Dave Ramsey's program, he encourages people when they finish paying off their debt to do a debt-free scream. So we're going to get one of those today. But Ashley, why don't you tell them a little bit about your experience coming out of high school and into your career?
Yeah, so I think, back when I was in high school, I wasn't really a good student. I tried really hard, but I really struggled with test taking, which becomes really, overwhelming problem to solve for, and really made me feel like, I wasn't smart and that there probably wasn't a whole lot I was going to be able to achieve. And I started really being recognized in school as an artist, and was kind of encouraged to pursue going to art school by a number of my teachers and family members. And I decided to go to school at a 4-year college for interior design and interior architecture. And I thought that was like a good hybrid way to kind of bring that artistic background into something that maybe had like a more real world application that I'd be able to get a job doing. And I went to school. I had to take out student loans. I won a few small scholarships, but ultimately, when I finished school, I had $124,000 in debt, which is a lot of debt. And along the way, I had a lot of doubts, and nobody really told me about other options, about something that might apply in the trades, or I was learning to use AutoCAD, like what other paths there might be for me. It was just, well, you got to finish school, you got to finish school. And so when I did finish, it was during the peak of the recession in 2008, and my professors were looking for jobs at interior design studios, and there wasn't a ton of opportunity in the industry. And so,
and when you went into school, how long did you think it was going to take you to pay back your student debt?
Yeah, so at the time, the average, annual income for somebody in that profession was like $100,000 a year. And so I thought, I can live on next to nothing. I could move back home with family. I could probably pay this off in 2-3 years was my thought. And as Jeff mentioned, I just made my last student loan payment on Friday, and that was 16 years after I finished school. So to say it took a lot longer than I thought would be an understatement. Early on, my student loan payments prevented me from being able to get an apartment of my own, and I had to live with friends or family. They prevented me from being able to get a car or a car loan because my credit was so bad from only having debt. When I finally did get a car, it was at a 24% interest rate. So then that, became the focus of paying the car off to get out of that interest rate and doing minimum payments on my student loans. And then kind of once all my student loans came due for payment, my minimum payment was like $900 a month, which is more than a lot of people's mortgage, So it was definitely an uphill battle for a really long time. I think even
as a point of reference, when I started lamb excavating with my buddy Brian, I was living on about $900 a month. So I think this is part of the story that we want to share, and why we want to show you these other opportunities where you can quote unquote earn while you learn, is because I would have never been able to do what I did to achieve this dream if I had had a $900 a month student loan payment.
Yeah, super true. And I think a lot of times about what I would have been able to do if I didn't have that debt. I've worked in some pretty tough atmospheres. I've worked in jobs where I was traveling more than 200 days a year because that's what paid the bills.
Let's back up just a touch and talk a little bit more about that. So you come out of school, you came home because you needed to live with your parents, and you had this $900 a month student loan payment. Did your degree open the door to get a job, or did you find a job that anybody could have gotten?
I got a job anybody could have had. I actually have never had a job that required my degree or any degree, really.
Right. So ultimately, your career that you have now, and I don't want to put her on the spot, but let's just say she earns substantially more than what she thought that she was going to earn in her field when she went to school for it and took the $120,000 worth of student loans out. And it still took 16 years to pay it all back. But, ultimately her career was a result of her experience and her ability to perform well at different levels. Is that fair?
Yeah, I think the one good thing, if I had to say that my student debt did, is it lit a fire in me. I knew I had to earn more. I think my first job out of college that was salary based was $30,000 a year. And there was no way to make ends meet on that. And so I had to keep, being a problem solver and finding new opportunities and taking the jobs that people didn't want or that, opened up in front of me. And a lot of good's come out of that, but I think that's about the best part that I got out of all the student debt. I've joked a lot of times, like, can I just send it back? Can I just return my?
I think a takeaway there is that regardless of what you're doing in life, to try and be successful, you've got to have a driving force. Which for me, the driving force of building a construction business and trying to be a business owner was my desire to go racing for myself, so that I couldn't just get fired after putting in a lot of work and effort to build something up. And I think the unfortunate thing for Ashley is that her driving force wasn't something she chose. It wasn't something that she loved. It wasn't something she wanted to go after. It was something that was a necessity. And it wasn't like a carrot or a light at the end of the tunnel. It was like a fire under your rear. And I'm thankful that it got her to where she is. And I'm thankful that we found each other, because I probably couldn't have done what we've done without her as well. But we wanted to share that. And so now, since you have made your last payment, let's hear that Dave Ramsey debt-free scream.
I don't know. I feel like we need to save that for like episode 2.
No. No.
All right. Well, here's your warning. I guess plug your ears, turn down the volume, take out your headphones. I don't know. Do we count it down?
I thought that's when you said, hey, this is how much debt I paid off. And
all right. It's been a minute since we did Dave Ramsey the year we got married. So it's been 6 years since we started that program. Well, I paid off $124,000 of debt, private and public loans. Yeah, Bruno, plug your ears. And I did it 100% by myself, which is something that I don't know that I ever thought I would be able to say. So, woo!
No.
Yeah.
That's
feels
it.
Good. That felt good. Yeah.
Well, congratulations. I'm really proud of you. I'm really glad that you were able to do that and do that on your own terms. And so that kind of brings us to today. We're starting this channel. You could probably expect to see things. We're getting ready to hopefully remodel our house. And so you'll probably see some things from that. You'll definitely see some job site videos from Lamb Excavating to give you a sense of what it's like to work at an excavating company. I hope to show you some of the other skilled trades that we're connected to through our race program, and talk to some of those people and let them tell you about why they chose to do what they're doing, and the opportunities that they found in the trades. And I think it's fair at this point to offer, like, I'm not here to bash college. I'm not here to tell you not to go to school. What I would encourage you is don't go to school just because that's what you've been told you need to do. Go to school with a plan. If you got to borrow money to go to school, make sure that whatever your plan at the tail end of school is will pay for the loans that you have to take. So before we have people flaming us out about being anti-college, we're not.
You went to college.
I did go to college.
You have a degree.
But yeah, so you can expect to see, call it a racing vlog meets a touch of micro dirty jobs, and a touch of just straight up excavating work, which is what I do most of the time. And so we need to name this channel, and we want your input. This race car here, when it's put together, will definitely be carrying the name of the channel on it. So whatever we choose, we're going to be parading around, hopefully at high speed, and not doing any acrobatics, at least not too often.
Yeah, I think if somebody finds a good name and you live near a track where we're going to be appearing, right? We can bring you to the races.
We would love to
with
bring
us.
you to the races if we end up choosing your name, and we're going to be racing near you. We've got a couple ideas in mind. One of them that we had was Ground to Glory, because we work in the ground so that we can go chase glory on the racetrack. Another one that we thought might be decent was Skilled Tracks. Obviously skilled in reference to the trades, tracks in reference to excavator tracks, heavy equipment tracks, and race tracks. And the other one that we thought had a ring to it was Trenches to Tracks, because we work in the trenches so that we can go to the track. But seriously, if you have any other ideas, we don't have a name yet, and we're going to need one soon. Please give us a follow and set a reminder so that as we release videos, you can check them out. We're just getting started at this, so bear with us as we learn and get better. Welcome your constructive feedback, and would love to hear what you guys want to see, what you think would be cool, what you liked, what you didn't like. And truthfully, that's the thing that probably is going to help us the most, is your interaction with us, so that we can make better content for you, and that interaction also helps to promote our channel. So thanks for joining us today. We look forward to showing you a piece of our world. Congratulations to Ashley for being debt free. I feel like the scream should have been a little more enthusiastic, but maybe we'll get her to do that once we shut the camera off, because I'm tickled about it. It was a long road of watching her fight her way out of that, and I'm just super proud of her. And so yeah, thanks for joining us today, and we look forward to catching up with you soon.